Kia ora everybody, I hope you're all well. I'm just here to talk a bit about my tattoo retirement. So over the past year, since I announced my retirement from tattooing, I've had a lot of people asking why I'm retiring, which is fair enough. And I have said the reasons why, so um, I thought I'd make this video, like a proper video for people to come and watch, to find out the reasons behind that. So here goes. Probably the main reason I'm retiring from tattooing and moko is because it doesn't really do anything for me anymore. It doesn't interest me as much as it used to, and it definitely has taught me a lot over the past 12 years. I'm super grateful to have discovered it and have met all the people that I've met through tattooing. A lot of my really good mates I've met through tattooing them, so that's huge. But I don't think it's fair on anyone, to be tattooed by someone who isn't, 100% excited about doing the work that they're doing. I'm still proud of every piece that I send out. I still put my best sort of foot forward for every piece that I do. But it's just not as exciting as it used to be. And there are heaps of other things that excite me. And I originally thought I would just slow down tattooing and then, move into other things and, tattoo on the side. But the better I got and the more of a reputation I got, I realized that wasn't going to happen. So, I made the decision in September last year to retire in a year from that video that I put up. And, it's been quite scary, a little bit scary, just thinking about money and paying bills and all those sort of things, but that's not enough to deter me from still retiring from tattooing. I'm more excited than anything, really. I'm excited to be to be new at something again, because I've been doing this for so long, and I feel like I've done everything that I wanted to do in tattooing. So I'm happy to leave it where I will be leaving it. A few of the things that I want to get into, a lot of you already know, but I'll say it again for anyone who doesn't know. The biggest thing I want to get into is filmmaking. So I love movies, and the thought of being able to make movies is super exciting. A lot of people think I want to get into animation and be an animator, but nope, I don't. I want to be a director, film director, because the way I see it, so the way I work now, I can really only work as fast as I can work by myself. And I feel if I'm a director, a film director, or a video game director, I can have a vision and I can have an idea for something, and I can work as fast as the team that I'm working with can. So the best way I can see my visions coming to life is just getting the best people for the job, giving them the tools that they need, telling them the idea that we're going with, the way we want it to feel, the way we want it to look, all those sort of things, and just let them go for it. Because that's how I feel I work the best, is when I get a criteria and just be let loose, really, just to do my thing. And I feel like that way, being a director, you can make things happen way faster. You can make bigger ideas happen faster. And I feel like it can affect more people as well. I want to affect more Indigenous people, especially Māori people. Give us something to be proud of, something to be inspired by, to be motivated by. And that, I feel that's through storytelling, through telling our own stories. We have endless epic stories to tell, and there aren't really that many people telling them or sharing them with the amount of quality that they deserve. That's how I feel anyway. So that's a big thing. The thing that's probably at the top of my list is making video games, making spacey games, because everyone who knows me growing up, who knew me growing up, my whānau, my close friends, all know that I was a spacey freak. And who would have thought that we would get to the time now where esports is huge, electronic gaming and video gamers. You know, they're the stars of today. So that's exciting. Yeah, and being able to make a video game that's Māori as well, that's super exciting for me because I grew up on like the God of War games, the Legend of Zeldas, all those sort of games, and it's easy to imagine those games with a Māori twist or, you know, sort of inspiring a Māori game. So yeah, that's a bit of me. I also want to make toys. I want to make action figures. So I want, you know, to make warriors, like whether they be Atua or be inspired from Atua Māori. You know, I'm not 100% yet, but I would love our kids to play with toys that, you know, where the stories around those toys belong to them, you know. You know, we have kids with Superman toys or Batman or Captain America, Hulk, Spider-Man. Imagine them being brought up with Tāne Mahuta as a toy, or Rua Moko or Tāwhiri Mate or whoever else. And yeah, that's super exciting to me. And also, I want to make like action figures, like collectibles, like, you know, like the Game of Thrones toys, you know, the ones that stay in the box, or even the ones that are just this big that stay on display, you know, you don't play with them. Those sort of things. I want to paint murals. I've already got a couple of murals coming up here in Whakatane, so I'm super stoked about that. I even have an idea for some sort of like street art festival where bring a lot of artists together, mural artists, to paint their interpretations of my drawings of Atua Māori. You know, and the reason behind that is because I don't really see myself being a mural artist, like a full-time mural artist, that's for sure. Oh, I'm definitely keen to do some now and then. But yeah, I'd rather leave it to the pros, people who do it for a living. And the idea of having our Atua Māori or our own like portrayals up on buildings and stuff around our country is super inspiring to me and super exciting. And like I was saying before, you know, I can only work as fast as I can by myself. So the idea of other artists doing it, that's, you know, that's gonna spread like wildfire. What else did I want to do? Still clothing. Clothing is still on the horizon, but it's kind of like at the bottom of the list at the moment. I'm not really too fussed about that because I don't really wear too many different clothes, to be honest. I have a few. The clothes that I have now is the same clothes I've had for the last few years. But yeah, that'll come. My Atua prints, those are things I want to put more effort into. My exhibition, so I've got a bigger exhibition coming in 2 years here in Whakatane, around Matariki. So I'll be working towards that as well. Also, I got a lot of good feedback from my Atua drawing workshop here in town a couple of weeks ago. And it was from a lot of teachers, you know, art teachers, or, you know, just teachers in general, asking if I do that sort of thing at schools and if I would be open to it. And yeah, 100%. So if anyone who's watching now, if you're a teacher, you're an art teacher, and you'd be interested in me running some Atua drawing workshops at your school, and you've got students who you think will really benefit from it, send me a message. I've got my just tehonuiart.com, that's my website, and just send me a message through there, and then we can go from there. Or even easier would be Instagram or Facebook, Tehonuiart. You'll find me on there. But yeah, I really want to just share as much as I can, and yeah, try and benefit as many people as I can, because I know when I was coming up as a young artist, I had a million questions about processes and about different art forms and, you know, possible career paths and all those sort of things, but I didn't know who to ask and I didn't know how to ask. So if I can save a lot of that headache for anyone, you know, whether you be a student, whether you be a teacher or an adult or, you know, a child, I'm happy to be that person to shed some light on those things for you. Yeah, those are some of the things that I want to get into. I'm just looking forward to being excited about the work that I do, yeah, because at the moment, tattooing doesn't really fulfill me. It pays the bills, which, yeah, I'm super grateful for, but yeah, it doesn't fulfill me like it should. So that's yeah, I owe it to anyone who's getting done by me to, you know, to do my best and I can't do my best every day if I'm not 100,000,000% excited about it. Not to say that I'm doing mediocre work now, but yeah, that's just how I feel about that matter. Also, to everybody who's been flooding in with messages about interest in my mahi and the words of support for me retiring from tattooing, even though I am where I am. Thank you. It all means a lot. I hope that this inspires anyone out there who's in any sort of career path that they're good at but are not passionate about, and thinking about doing something else. The way that I think about it is, it's better to for me. So when I finish, it'll be 12 years. It's better to tattoo 12 years and then retire at the end of that 12 years, being really, really good and starting at square one, but knowing that square one is at the bottom of something that I'm even more excited about. You owe it to yourself. Don't worry about what anyone else says. A lot of people say, "Oh, no, you're too good to retire from tattooing. It'll be a waste." All those sort of things, but no one really thinks about what I want to do. What's important to me. And for the people who do, thank you for supporting me in my decision. I'm just excited. Can't wait. I've been saying it to everyone lately, and that's really about it. And I'm also aware of the fact that there are heaps of other things that I can't even see yet, like heaps of other opportunities that will present themselves in the future. Like a year ago from now, I didn't know that I was going to retire. So it's cool to think about. So it's I wonder where I'll be in a year, what sort of goals I'll have by then, what connections I would have made, what people I would have met, what new decisions will be rattling around in my head. But that's really about it. Sorry, that's not about it. So this camera that I'm recording on now, it was an investment that I made. When did I buy it? Just under 2 months ago. And I'll just talk about it. I'm just going to be 100% honest about how much it costs and all those sort of things, just so you guys can get an idea of how serious I am about this move to other mediums. So this camera that I've got now, I'm going to have some people who are listening to this, like my whānau and stuff, who are going to say, "Whoa, that's a ridiculous amount," but you could have spent that money on other things. But this is a decision that I've made, and I'm happy with it. I didn't regret it one bit, and my partner supports me as well, which is huge. But yeah, so the camera I'm using is a Canon 1DX Mark II. And for those of you who don't know photography or cameras and all that, it's a big camera and it's really good. It's good for photography and video work, and this camera cost $10,000. And I remember hearing the price of this camera a couple of years ago when it came out, and I remember thinking, "Whoa, that's ridiculous." But yeah, so that's a $10,000 camera. The lens that I've got on it now is a 16 to 35mm f2.8 L lens Mark II, and that lens was about $1,500, I think. Yeah, $1,500, I think, and that was second hand too. That's not even full price. I think full price was over $2,000. The mic that I've got hooked up to it was $500. The stand that's on it, the stand that the camera is on was about, I don't know, $200, $300 maybe, something like that. The bag that I bought for it all was, I can't even remember, a couple $100. I bought this lens, which was about, I can't even remember, $1,700 maybe, or maybe $2,000, or maybe just over, not too sure. Oh, this is a lens I already had, 50mm, $600. And the reason I'm telling you all this is so you know, like, this is not me trying to flex, trying to show off how much money I've spent on all this equipment, because that's irrelevant really. But it's just to show you how serious I am about making this move towards filmmaking and, you know, other endeavors. And the reason that I did this too is because when I started tattooing, I would keep all the money that I made and just, you know, spend it on stupid stuff. And the equipment that my dad and I were using at the time was just cheap gear. So it was, you know, it was really hard to use. And one thing, if I could go back and do the whole process again, I would buy, I would save up and buy really, really good equipment, so that I knew that none of the gear was at fault for how my work turned out. It was all on my skill, and my skill is something that I can do something about. So that's the reason that I got this camera, and I know 100% with all of my being that I want to go towards filmmaking and those sort of things. So yeah, I thought I would get a really, really good camera, and I was gonna get a camera that was way cheaper than this, that was still good, but then I was thinking, like, later on down the track I'll probably end up getting this one anyway, so I might as well save, you know, the price of another cheaper camera and just go for this one that I wanted anyway, and yeah, not worry about buying new gear for a long time. But pardon me, sorry. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about this whole setup and the things that I want to go towards. And I'm super excited. I'm a small fish in a huge ocean, but that's what excites me. And also too, I just want to talk about this whole path and how hard it's been, like, mentally, because there are those days where I just, you know, have no motivation, and, you know, I think about, like, far out, this is, you know, I have no ideas, I can't even get into it, you know, no juices are flowing and all those sort of things. And just to know, like, yeah, that happens to me. So if that happens to you, just know it happens to me. I'm not always on, I'm not always super creative. But when I am creative, it's, I know how much I can make and how many things I can do. So I'm excited to be in that sort of excited space. Yeah. But yeah, that's just a little bit about why I'm retiring. This is a bit of a long video, but I don't care. People better stop asking me why I'm retiring after seeing this video now. But just trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I can't wait. Thank you to everyone who supported me over these last 12 years, even longer than that, my whānau and my close friends and stuff. You all mean the world to me, my darling. Thank you for supporting me over all these years. All this atua stuff probably wouldn't be happening without you. I love you. Also to, yeah, my really close friends who support me and everything that I do. Taku hoa, my brother Raniera. I know I can always count on you for anything. All our deep convos we have. Yeah, that's me. Kia ora whānau.